Back. Glad as always to have you with us. It's Friday and the second day of the 10th month, and it's just not been a nice one. More to come, sad to say. I am liking tonight's forecast a little more than 24 hours ago, but I didn't like anything about it then, so nothing but room for improvement. Keep in mind, still a great unknown with Joaquin, just kind of sitting out there off the shore and not moving much. It's when it does start to move a little more, in what direction, that's when we'll know more. But we'll go with what we know and talk about your Apple Day forecast, which is going to be more wet than not, but still, Apple Day, the 53rd annual event, filled with, I'm sure, fritters and dumplings and pies and caramel and candied apples and any other way that you can think to fix them. It's not slowing them down too much, so you just want to go prepared. An umbrella, maybe a good pair of rain boots, a good idea. Headlines tonight will include, we now know the names and can report the names of the two young ladies who were so tragically killed in that double fatality here in McGoffin County yesterday. One arrest, one pending for the burglary of the Royalton Food Mart, and police are asking for your help in finding another individual. Also, and a couple of other stories that we've been holding on throughout the week, and I've got football and highlights and much more before I leave you for what's going to be pretty much a cold, soggy weekend. We'll go ahead and begin with the identity of the two young ladies who were so tragically killed. One with very strong McGoffin County ties, I have since learned, and whose services will actually take place here in Sagersville as well. Two young women in their early 20s on their way to the Luke Bryan concert, which had actually been rained out around the same time this terrible accident happened. They were traveling west on the Mountain Parkway when the driver lost control on rain-slickened roads and slid into the path of an oncoming car being operated by a McGoffin County woman, Janet Stevens. Also inside was her stepson, both taken to the ARH Medical Center. Stevens later transferred after being transported to the UK Medical Center. But sadly, even though they were both wearing their seatbelts, the two women in this car, the driver, 20-year-old Alma Elliott of Martin, and the passenger, 22-year-old Kayla Allen, were both pronounced dead on the scene, believed to have died instantly upon impact. It was one of two double fatality accidents in eastern Kentucky yesterday, with two men being killed in Letcher County in the same car crash. As for Miss Allen, her mother is a McGoffin County native, as are other members of her family, and services are being arranged at the McGoffin County Funeral Home. I'll tell you what information we have in regards to her services when we reach our obituary column in just a few moments. It's my understanding that services for 20-year-old Alma Elliott of Martin are going to take place at the Nelson Frazier Funeral Home in Martin. In our next headline, McGoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Neil Adams tells me of one arrest, this man, as it pertains to the burglary of the Royalton Food Mart. He also tells us that one arrest is pending. A burglary that took place a week ago this past Tuesday at the Royalton Food Mart. It was 10:30 that night. Security footage that I've already showed on the program on a couple of occasions showed a masked suspect who'd entered the store through a hole that was cut inside of the building, taking his time and going from behind the counter back and forth to that hole on 5 separate occasions with an armful of cigarettes, other tobacco products, a cash register from the store, a handgun, and in all about $3,000 or $4,000 worth of merchandise and damages that were left behind. Off-duty McGoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Neil Adams will be the first to arrive shortly thereafter, and he opened the case. He also, after watching the security video, says in his arrest warrant citation that he believed to have recognized the mannerisms of the suspect in the film, and then began patrolling that night. We have since learned, per that citation, that around 2:30 later on that night, he pulled over a red Geo Tracker, and inside were two individuals, Denver Swafford Jr., who was driving behind the wheel, and Ricky Neal Fletcher, who was a passenger. Both were charged with DUI and PI, respectively. Also, while searching Ricky Neal Fletcher, Adams says that he found cigarettes that were linked back to the Royalton Food Mart, as well as rolling papers and some other items that matched the description of items that were taken from the burglary. Also in custody, Fletcher reportedly gave Adams a recorded statement implicating both himself and Swafford as two that were involved in the crime. And at the same time, Ricky Neal Fletcher told Deputy Adams where he could find the stolen handgun and led Adams back to the mailbox of the residence of Denver Swafford Jr. inside a 9mm high-point handgun that was stolen from the business. There was also a witness that came into play in the investigation, says Adams, and that was a witness that was walking along or near the Dawkins Trail the night or near the time of the burglary, who also stated they observed that same red Geo tracker sitting behind or near the Royalton United Baptist Church, and that they also saw Denver Swafford Jr. in the driver's seat and a male passenger sitting in the other seat with a baseball cap. He also said that another witness came forward and said that they saw both Ricky Neal Fletcher and Denver Swafford at their home on the night of the burglary, with Ricky Neal Fletcher wearing a dark gray hoodie that matched that in the security video, also a bandana, baseball cap, and other items. And that witness also said that Ricky Neal Fletcher at the time was trying to sell him a stolen heater, and then said they were going to rob a trailer, returning back later and describing to them exactly how the burglary of the Royalton Food Mart had happened. And that witness also picked up Ricky Neal Fletcher at a later time walking down the road carrying a bucket that was later discovered and said to be the same one used, or the same one that's stolen from the Royalton Food Mart, that was being used by store owners to collect some loose change. And lastly, on a hillside across from Denver Swafford's residence, officers found partially burned lottery tickets that have numbers matching the tickets stolen from the Royalton Food Mart, also a partially burned white glove that was believed to have been used in the burglary. And after this investigation, Deputy Adams arrested yesterday Denver Swafford Jr. at his residence. He has since been lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center on charges of burglary in the first degree and criminal mischief in the first degree as well. Adams, also, who I spoke with via the telephone earlier today, who was on his day off, did inform me that the investigation is ongoing, and he's still hopeful that some members of the community may have other information about maybe the potential of other items that were taken or other individuals that were involved. He also tells me that he believes the man seen on the security footage is Ricky Neal Fletcher, and that he is also being wanted and sought after at this time on charges of burglary in the first degree and criminal mischief in the first degree. He is hoping that also at the same time there might be some public information available to him as to the whereabouts of Ricky Neal Fletcher, who is still wanted on that arrest citation. If you have any information, you can call the Magoffin County Sheriff's Department at 349-2914. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. It's safe to say that we all look at things very differently since the tornado of March 2012, and that includes being ready and on the lookout for any weather that may develop and taking it much more seriously than we all did. And it also means being prepared, which is the theme of the following report in regards to 2 generators which have been requested for quite some time. Funds have finally been awarded, and they are being implemented and installed in the Sagersville area this week. The Magoffin County Rescue Squad and the Sagersville Waterworks are both seeing the return on the investment made by local government and FEMA, with 2 new generators being funded and set in place that will be a great asset to the entire community as a whole in the event of any power outage, especially one to the extent of the greatest one we've ever experienced.
The tornado that taught us how important the rescue squad is. That was the central area where everyone gathered, where all of our status things were run out of that. That's where everybody came for help. It's where we all came to meet a lot of the times. And so what we have today is a generator going in so that if the electric goes off, the rescue squad will not miss a beat. They'll still be able to provide services, and we think that is critically important in this area. The other one is going to the city water plant. It will enable the city water plant to function without any external source of electricity. The generator will do that. The city is committed to either getting a portable or permanent one at the intake, so I will not be stuck in the situation of 2 to 3 days of water calling for help through the electric company and some lady in Kansas asking if Sagersville is anywhere near West Liberty.
And on a related note, Hardin says the county has applied for 2 warning sirens, and they expect one to be granted to McGoffin County in this first round of funding, with another hopefully to come next year. One to be placed in the northern end of the county, one in the southern end of the county, and a third to be placed in the central portion of Sagersville at the McGoffin County Rescue Squad. Headlines in a moment. Right now, birthday and some announcements on tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. They didn't say how old you were, but I know you're as old today as you were yesterday because your birthday's not till Sunday. So early birthday wishes tonight to Whitney Cantrell with a whole lot of love from Mama Pearl, Dad, Sister Haley, and Papa Stephen. Happy, happy birthday to you. And 'tis the season. One more reminder, flu shots are available every weekday at the McGoffin County Health Department, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 to 3, Tuesdays, 8 to 5, Fridays, 8 to 1. Call 349-6212 to find out more about how most insurances are accepted and how everyone can get their flu shot at the McGoffin County Health Department. As far as I know, they're still going to do it rain or shine tomorrow, and the latter half might not be so bad. We'll see about your weather in a minute, but one more reminder about the bass tournament tomorrow on Yatesville Lake. Starts in the morning, 7:30. Sponsored by the Harold Whitaker Middle School cheerleading team. They hope that you'll join them. First place pays a grand. Yep, it's a big prize. A lot of other cash prizes too. Also this weekend on Sunday, a 5K walk run in honor of Jeremy Arnott and his family. It's going to be in the Ramey Park starting at 10 o'clock that morning. Show up a little early to register. They've got some great prizes and other things, but there is also, of course, a main opportunity, or the main reason behind it, is giving you an opportunity to support this local family after Mr. Arnott was diagnosed with stage 4 renal cancer recently, and all proceeds will go to help provide for his treatment at the Markey Cancer Center. I just got this in. The Sagersville Grade School's got a book fair Tuesday through Monday of the following week, 6th through the 12th. They're off Monday for fall break, so it'll start Tuesday and go through the following Monday. I get it now. Everyone is welcome to the Sagersville Grade School for their book fair starting when classes start back on Tuesday. I just now realized it's fall break. Just not for all of us, right? This is how you get items on the community calendar. Mail, phone, fax, email, Facebook them. YourNewsToday.com is where you can always go to find programming the following day in case you missed it the first time or want to catch it again. Turning now to funeral service announcements, the McGoffin County Funeral Home has forwarded me the following announcements that are still being made in honor of 22-year-old Kayla Marie Allen of Van Leer. She, of course, passed away yesterday here in Sagersville in McGoffin County. She was the daughter of Gary and Melissa, or Missy Basham Allen, and arrangements are said to be incomplete at this time. You can go to McGoffinCountyFuneralHome.com over the course of the weekend to find out about arrangements. I believe the family was coming in tomorrow to make arrangements in her honor, once again in honor of Kayla, and I believe it's spelled with an A as I have it with an E there, Kayla Marie Allen, 22, of Van Leer. A local family is still seeking your information, should you have any, about the whereabouts of their loved one who has not been seen for days. They say it's completely uncharacteristic of this young man to leave without speaking to any of his family, and they are starting to fear for his safety. We're still trying to reach some of the family to find out more, but I do have the following information to pass along to you tonight about a young man who hasn't been seen for days. 20-year-old Juan Madrigal was last seen in McGoffin County about 6 or 7 days ago, by my accounts, per family information that's been provided to us. Last seen driving, I think it was a 2006 silver or gray Volkswagen Jetta. If you have any information that you can relay to the family, they would greatly appreciate it. You can forward any of those details to the Mi Hacienda restaurant here in Sagersville, 349-6800. Also, you can contact the Kentucky State Police, who the family tells me has been informed about the missing man, and they are also conducting their own investigation. We'll find out more about it early next week, but for now we want to make sure we just at least get the information out there about the young man. He has not been seen for days. He speaks fluent Hispanic and English, 20 years of age, and was last seen once again traveling in his 06 Volkswagen Jetta. Once again, if you have any information or may have seen him or a vehicle matching that description, call me Hacienda at 349-6800 or the Kentucky State Police at Post 9. That's 433-7711. We'll be right back. I've got more headlines, one more brief break before we continue. off every day, but today a little more than usual because it was football night last night, and that means that today was to be Saturday, with the exception of reality setting in. It was Thursday night football for a lot of area teams as the fall break and school calendar, of course, dictated so. We've got some scores and some highlights. We'll pick it up with this carry to the 1 by Dylan Williams of Magoffin County. And with Magoffin County up 14-7 in the second, Williams pushes through to seal the deal for another Magoffin County TD. And on a 2nd and 3 from the 10, this time Williams hands it off to Dalton Peters as the half starts to wind down. The Hornets go up to a 26-15 lead over Knott Central. Proving to be a winning combination. Williams takes a snap, Peters takes the ball, rushes 31 yards for another Magoffin County touchdown, capped off with a 2-point conversion attempt by Ryan Mullins. He makes good on the attempt for an extra 2 points, 34-15. Your final score, 54-35, Magoffin County. And that was a much-needed win for the Hornets. Their first district win of the season puts them at 1-2 in the district, 2-5 on the season at large. It also puts them hosting Breathitt County on the 16th. Next Friday is their off week. Now, Breathitt County, another big and all-important district matchup, one of 2 left on the regular season schedule. Breathitt County on the 16th, Powell County on the 23rd. Breathitt's 1-4, Powell's 3-2. The Hornets looking to pick up another win, if not 2, before the season is over at the end of October. Also playing a Thursday night game, Coach Matney and his Golden Eagles, and they're also playing their second district game of the season, 52-7. A win over East Carter puts them at 2-0 in the district. They're 5-0 thus far. That puts the Golden Eagles of Johnson County at Greenup for another district game next Friday night. They'll play on the 9th. They've got 3 district matchups in a row headed down the pipe. Greenup, Round, then Ashland Blazer. Then Belfry will wrap it up for them at the end of the season, also on the 30th of October. And the Cougars coming off a win, 51-12 over Jackson County. This was on the 25th. They play tonight. It's going to be a wet one for them. Now, they are hosting Powell County. Kickoff was set for 7:30 per my last update. 51-12 last week against Jackson County. Going into tonight's game, the Cougars are 4-1, looking for a 5th win over Powell County. And what can you say about the Tigers? You can say a whole lot. Don't have time to go with all the stats. I just have a few minutes to get you caught up on a 7-0 record thus far for the Paintsville Tigers. They're making headlines all around the state, rightfully so. Now, here's what's happened. They played last night a win over Pike County Central, 56-7. That was their second district matchup of the season. I've got them at 0-0 for some reason there in the district. Nevertheless, they are 2-0 in district play, 7-0 for the season. They've got 3 games left on their schedule, and the next one will be next Friday night, October the 9th. They'll be on the road at Fairview, Raceland, another district game thereafter. They'll wrap it up on the 30th as well at Shelby Valley. And to wrap it up, with any type of news, it's, a go-with-what-you-know situation. And that's always the case, but it's a little more the case with the weather tonight because even though things can change, we'll go with what we know. You can see, a little dry air starting to try to work its way in, and we're going to see a break in the rains as they are moving from west to east. We're going to see a bit of a break, and that's a good thing. I've got an inch of rainfall out there that has fallen. Looks as though today, that might take into account the past 24 hours. Nevertheless, we'll see a little bit of a lull in the action, but some more heavy rain to pick up. We've got some more heavy stuff coming. Right now, Joaquin is just kind of hanging out off the shore, and right now, most models are saying it's not going to track west enough to give us any heavy rains after tomorrow afternoon and evening, and then some lighter thereafter. I want to stress that could change, but we'll go with what we know at this hour. And that is that we'll see a low of about 49 degrees tonight. Don't have to fall too far to get there. I'm holding at 55 at just after the 6 o'clock hour, about 6:20, and we're at 55 already. Cloudy skies. The rain will be slowing down in intensity, and you saw some dry spots there in the radar. That is a good thing. We've gotten caught up. We've had enough. But we're going to see more. Situation is rain tomorrow, and right now, mainly before 3 o'clock, we should see the heaviest stuff. We'll see some thereafter. But if Joaquin doesn't switch gears and change directions, right now, I think I agree with the National Weather Service that we will see rain likely heavier earlier tomorrow and not so much late, with still a 30% chance of some showers late tomorrow night into your Sunday. Right now, I'm hopeful that we'll see mostly cloudy skies and only about a 20% chance of showers after 10 a.m. in the morning throughout most of the day. Maybe a little drier. Temperatures are going to improve up to about 68 degrees. Now, this, remind you, is all contingent on just what Joaquin has to say about it. If things go as I hope they will and as the forecast dictates, for now, at least, and at this very moment, we're going to see some nice conditions start to move back in. Dry air and some sunshine, maybe starting on Monday with 71 under partly sunny skies. We'll see the low 70s. We're not going to get much warmer than that, but dry and sunshine-filled skies for days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even on all the way through Friday of next week, 71, 72 each and every day. But nevertheless, sunshine above, only partly cloudy skies at late, and we'll dry up from what has been a lot of rainfall, hopefully no more than what we can handle. And I'll leave you with this evening. Why, it's our thoughts and prayers every night and all the time. Maybe now a little more than ever, I am encouraged to say that we sincerely hope you have a wonderful and safe weekend this weekend, especially while traveling any wet roads out there. And we hope to see you back here next Monday for more of Your News Today.